tackling some Final Fantasy today, actually. The new patch is on us. I need to do the story. But more importantly, this is the patch where we start to farm things. So expect to see more Final Fantasy stream. Just because I should be farming that stuff. Or something like that. Anyway, while we are doing MSQ, why hello mood, are you feeling better? That's good. I'm glad you finally got some sleep, rather than playing video games all night. So I have. It would appear that Waterdo has crashed. That means you all get a nice flashbang. I feel sick. And tired. And everything else in between. Well, it's fixed, but it's also not fixed because my camera is off, and that's annoying. Think that worked. Alright, so we're going to start MSQ, but since it is patch 7.5, we are also going to farm for mounts, if we can find parties. I have already gotten the Phoenix mount from P4S, so huzzah. Guess we'll just keep an eye out on that. Have you done MSQ yet, Mood Donor? I trust you were able to get plenty of rest. Good. I thought we might take a moment to ponder our next steps and perhaps reflect on our recent journey. I must admit my thoughts often drift to the Mist Continent and our stay in Treno. It was heartening to see the Malala prosper despite the odds, and my own flesh and blood strive in that levin-racked landscape. Sphene was eager to restore diplomatic relations, and I have no doubt that Alexandria will provide much-needed support for their neighbor. I, too, shall do everything I can to aid my home away from home, my wonderful welcoming family included. I miss the old Veli, the always bold Veli, straight of the cold Veli, never on hold Veli. Hello, Morganyan. I don't understand the reference. For the time being, though, I'd say we've accomplished all within our power. I suppose that just leaves the matter of Preservation's research. My plan worked. I don't get it. It is yet unclear how Calyx learned the techniques he used to summon his Dark Primal, and there is likewise much that remains unknown about the key. Let us hope that Shale's efforts bear more fruit. Where is Bahamut? Well, who knows if you'll see Bahamut today. You'll see Enuo, if you know who that is. Can you hear me? Shale and I have been reviewing the decrypted files and have uncovered some intriguing details. Would you care to join us? We'll be with you right away. Excellent! Shale seems rather eager to speak with you all. Come and find us in the Deutero Lab when you're ready. Also, you may see Valagarmonda and or whatever P8 is, if I find a party for that. Uncanny timing indeed. Let us make for the containment complex. I've only played FF1 and 15. Well, there are many FF1 and 15 references in Final Fantasy. No one is doing Valagarmonda. Less reason to even think anyone's doing E8. Heading for the containment complex? Right this way. Oh yes, I remember this place. For security reasons, Containment Complex 10-29 has been registered as a materials distribution center. Keep this in mind and conduct yourself accordingly, both inside and outside the facility. Each employee must perform their tasks within their designated workrooms, the Researchers' Commons, Protolab, or the Deutero Lab. Entrance into another workroom without official clearance is strictly prohibited. Carry your security card at all times. Your clearance level dictates the areas to which you have access. Equip your regulator at all times. Due to the highly confidential nature of the research materials and other data managed within the complex, Preservation retains the ownership of and the rights to modify the memories of all registered personnel. Have I read this before? I probably did. Rat and Plugged got a first real look at a genuine flight or fight response for me on my way home. How did they get a first real look? Were you face camming? This game is too much reading? Not necessarily. There's quite a lot of voice lines. Case in point.
Time for a progress report.
I had my camera on in the VC with them while I'm walking. Ooh, mood face reveal.
As we suspected, the data represents a partial record of Preservation's research documents. A quick scan of the files, however, failed to turn up the information Y'shtola was after.
Like I said, the amount of voice lines in Final Fantasy have been increasing, like in cutscenes.
Indeed. No mention of the Ascians, or primal summoning techniques for that matter. While Calyx doubtless received instruction from someone possessed of such knowledge, there was naught to identify this benevolent mentor. I am, however, pleased to say that we found several reports concerning the key.
We know the key is used to open paths between worlds, and was a treasured relic of the Velynara.
I was exhausted, so I was breathing kind of hard when I got to my straight. I think that kind of caused hyperventilation, and then that triggered a panic attack that triggered a response. This game always wins Best Community Support at the Game Awards. Is that true? Pretty much. Yeah, they win that award quite a bit. Which was Flight, by the way. I walked into a static field. It was cloudy and thundering, not a good mix.
And just as the Velynara were unable to return after reaching the Mist Continent, so too was Preservation unable to gain a mastery of the prize which had passed into their possession. The data suggests that a particular formula or procedure is required, a process which Calyx appears to have understood to some degree. Yet the key proved fickle. Perfectly replicating conditions was no guarantee of success, and even when they did manage to generate a modest portal, the destination was never the one they expected. The reports practically screamed their frustration, describing the experience as being dragged around by a traveler picking roads without rhyme or reason. Serves them right, I say.
After much trial and error, Preservation began to experiment with external actuation devices for the key.
Yes, they are in fact talking about wormholes.
Striving to maintain a stable pathway to a chosen location, they conceived of the technology that forms the gate to the Golden City.
Mood, why are you trying to slander Final Fantasy XIV right now?
So, their tribulations ultimately afforded them control of the key, albeit in a limited capacity, which, of course, explains why they were able to instruct Zoralja in its use, thus enabling the unprecedented feat of transferring Everkeep and its environs to the source. After the Endless Fiend took the key unto herself, she opened pathways to other reflections in her hunt for ether, did she not?
The Velynara merely used it to facilitate their exodus. To think what the key has now wrought in different hands.
For all we know, the actuation device augmented the key's power beyond its intended scope. Were your goal to plunder whole worlds of their ether, a tool designed to simply transfer people would likely be insufficient.
Oh, that's right. Mood Downer, you won the fishing game last month. Would you like your free spin now? Also, hello, Dinky.
Shale, I don't suppose you would be able to remove the actuation device?
Mood would. Alright, we will do the free spin after this cutscene.
The machine made for that very purpose is still functional, thankfully. It shouldn't be a problem.
What do you
Dinky
think?
lived.
We don't even know how the key works. If the device is somehow interfering or amplifying its capabilities, I believe we ought to remove it.
No more popcorn. Or the Moogles? They're hiding.
Give me a moment.
They're afraid of me. I am a god slayer after all. Chaos? Chaos is a boss in Final Fantasy XIV. He's pretty fun. Does Stranger of Paradise count as an FF game? Yes.
This is the first time I've beheld the key in all its unobscured glory. The sheer density is extraordinary. 'Tis akin to the structures we saw beneath the Tempest.
Now that you mention it, the ornamentation is reminiscent of Amarot.
Have you noticed anything since the key has been in your possession?
I've played 3 whole FF games. Congratulations, Morganyon. It reminds me of Azim's crystal.
You're suggesting the key has some connection with Azim?
No medical expert, nor was I paying much attention, but they said it might have been lodged in the bronchi, whatever that is.
A plausible theory, although one we are yet unequipped to prove.
Glad you're among us, Stinky.
My apologies. Hello? Yes, this is Cryo speaking.
Just have to be. You just can't inhale. Popcorn. You gotta chew it slowly.
That was Ojika with a message for us.
An urgent matter?
I'm not altogether sure. Tataru requires our counsel, and hoped to call upon us in person at the Baldessian Annex. Though disappointed we were not present, she appeared content to wait until our travels brought us back to Sharlayan, insisting that it did not merit our immediate summons. Her tone suggested otherwise, however, and Ojika felt compelled to contact us directly.
Mayhap the time has come for another journey across the salt.
You'd best go. Though I'll not deny that I'll be sad to see you leave.
Shale is an underrated character, in my opinion.
Oh, Shale. I can't even begin to thank you for all you've done. We will be forever indebted to you and your Oblivion colleagues.
The debt is ours. We'll never forget the sacrifices you've made for us. For Alexandria.
Am I excited for Evercold? Medium about it.
You'll hear as soon as I find anything of note.
Actually, I should like to stay here a little longer, if you don't mind.
You are most welcome.
And might I borrow the key for a while? I wish to study it further. With the utmost care, I assure you.
Well then, shall we be off? Ojika will be expecting us.
The fix they suggested is just to cough and hack as much as possible. Did it work? I guess you could say you're lukewarm. The key to interdimensional travel. Fortunately, I was able to cough it out. That's good. That's good. That means no extensive, expensive surgeries. Alright. Mood Downer has won a free wheel spin. So let us spin my ridiculous wheel. Why don't they just use instant transmission? Because DBZ is not very good. Also, yes, we can teleport across continents, so that is a thing that you can do in Final Fantasy. You take that back. Oh. Oh, it's not what I thought it would be. Darn. Oh, well, that's easy. Veli famously hates... How is that famous? If she hates Dragon Quest too, why would I hate Dragon Quest? Alright, I guess I'm doing this dab thing that the kids... Ow! Thank you. The kids do. Hold on. Let's see. How do I do this? Guess we'll just turn this on. Switch camera to that. And then I think it's just like that. My tracking doesn't really help though, because it's... Maybe if I back away. Nope. I can't do that. I don't... Hold on. I think I can't actually do a dab. I think it has to be... like... this. And then like that? No, because then it tracks my eyes. Weird. Hold on. I think do this. And then hand like that? No, we have to hold hand. See, the problem is that it blocks my face, which then it doesn't know where to put my hands if I do that. So if I... Okay, that works for that, I think. And the other hand... Nope. Okay. I think that's as good as that's getting because this isn't possible with my level of tracking. As I'm sure we are all very much aware, I am Korean, and I do not have body odor. Thank you very much. Trust Dinky's judgment? Here's the thing, though, is Koreans don't smell. How does that make sense? You can Google it if you want. This is a true statement. It's a scientific fact. We don't have body odor. It's kind of funny that NTE is the one gacha I've had the most fun with at launch. Wuwa had the combat, but I wasn't a fan of the designs of both characters and enemies. DZ had the combat style, but none of the characters I particularly like playing, not even Billy, and Blue Star was just meh all around. It's true, isn't it? Like, you guys lack the gene for body odor or something. That is true. We simply do not have the gene for body odor. Fun fact, that gene that gives people body odor is also the same gene that gives people earwax. So while you guys have weird, disgusting, oily, liquidy earwax that melts out of your ears, I don't have that. Good at games, Veli being the exception. He's saying I'm bad at games. Sad. I use my earwax as candlelight, so checkmate. I mean, I don't use light at all, so Uno reverse. Okay, I'm just gonna see if there's any interest in doing Abyssos 8th Circle. Vampire, Novelist Dragon, an introverted dragon nonetheless. I mean, I've been thinking about rebranding and bringing out my vampire side. So I'd be like half dragon, half vampire. Does that mean you'd be losing the usual aura of Veli metal? No. Not necessarily. I just have to add vampiric elements to it, right? Which server are you playing on? I am playing on Genova. Why do you ask, Pinky? I didn't know you were a Final Fantasy XIV connoisseur. Genova, that name sounds familiar. It is the name of the... I don't want to say villain, but it's I guess it's the name of a couple bosses in Final Fantasy VII. I'm playing the FF7 Rebirth demo, and holy crap, it's a modern game, alright. Is it a modern game? I'm watching another stream. Another Final Fantasy XIV stream? I don't know what they're playing on. What do you mean what they're playing on? Like PC? PlayStation? Xbox? Soon to be Nintendo Switch 2 as well? No, server? Walkie-talkie sections, yellow paint, you can't go this way markers, squeeze through gaps so the game can load, etc. Imagine squeezing through gaps so your game can load. Yoko Taro should do a collab for this game. He already did. I remember when people were wowed by hidden loading screens, but now they're so common people would rather a loading screen. Really? Yes, he did. We had a whole raid series based off of Nier Automata. Well, that wasn't smart. The whole thing brought about many things. This game birthed 2P. Yeah, there you go. 2P was a Final Fantasy XIV creation. We have a pod mount. So, like, you can fly around on a pod. We have little pets. There's 2 pod minions. A white one and a black one. And then there's, like, just random other ones. Like, 2P, 2B, etc. And then there's a bunch of glam associated with the Nier stuff, so you can look like 2B if you wanted to. Can you use 2B as a mount? No, you cannot. But I have, like, the... You know, I don't think I can... 0 out of 10 worst game. Doesn't that mean all games are 0 out of 10 worst game? I like how Morganyan just openly admitted that all Dragon Ball Z games are 0 out of 10 games. No. None of those DBZ games has 2B as a mount. Ergo, 0 out of 10. Right? Those were your words. Oh, I should be reading this out loud. Your concern is much appreciated. As it so happens, we'd reached a convenient juncture in our investigation. Shale and Y'shtola have matters well in hand, leaving us free to make this trip. The only good DBZ game is Sagas? Disagree. That's a relief to hear. Now let me fetch Tataru for you. Why don't you take a moment to relax in the main hall? I'm sure you're all still fatigued from your journey. Actually, I played a DBZ game that I thought was pretty funny, because... So in this DBZ game is like an RPG game, right? And it basically plays through like the Frieza saga, right? And so you basically play as like Krillin and Vegeta and whatever, and you're just kind of walking around on Planet Piccolo or whatever it is, right? And you're beating up bad guys and leveling up and stuff. But while this is going on, you know how Goku is traveling via spaceship to... Oh, Namek, that's the name of the planet. So he's traveling to Namek, right? And while you're running around with your characters on Namek, right? You have to choose Goku's training regimen, right? And so that way when he gets to Namek and he joins your party, he's like appropriately powered up or whatever, right? And he joins you, I guess, plot-wise around the time when Ginyu Force? Is that what they're called? Captain Ginyu and his cronies attack you and stuff, and then Goku joins in and whatever. And I thought it was just a hilarious thing because if you mess up Goku's training, Captain Ginyu will decide that Goku isn't worth possessing. He possesses someone else. So when I played the game, my Goku landed and I didn't train him well enough. And so, Captain Ginyu went for my Gohan instead. And I thought that was hilarious. It's like, oh, this guy sucks actually. They're playing you. I was hoping you'd stumble upon them, but it seems they're pretty far into the story. I'm, at the end of the story, so... You know... Can't really... say... You know what I mean? Also, I should change this to, one player per job. Or is it raids? I mean, I'm also pretty current on raids. Ish. Or Goku, exactly. But yeah, that was a fun DBZ game.
Planning your next journey?
Oh, Oh no, just reminiscing. Thinking back to when you bought this map, and how you all encouraged me to make the voyage to Tural.
Are you glad you did?
As if you need ask. Welcome back.
It's been a while.
I'm so glad you're here.
I know nothing of this game aside from the returning bosses and flashy lights.
Ojika contacted us. He intimated that you were rather concerned. Come to think of it, Alphino said he and Alize would pay you a visit upon their return. Have you not seen them?
Oh no, they were here. I was regaled with many a tale of your Turali adventures. It was only once they departed for Garlemord that the rumors came to my attention. Rather alarmingly, void-sent sightings seem to be on the rise across the star.
Ooh.
I was reluctant to bother you with mere hearsay, especially when you had more pressing matters to contend with. But earlier I received a confidential report from the Grand Company of Eorzea. It's as if a mighty dam has been breached, flooding the land with foul creatures. For a blessing, most nations have managed to keep the invaders in check, and casualties appear to be minimal thus far. Though the same cannot be said for those regions with a deeper connection to the void. Their fissures continue to manifest without end, putting countless innocents in danger.
Haven't seen one Mugo, Cactuar, or Chocobo. Is this even an FF game?
A deeper connection to the void.
We're past all of the fan service stuff in the beginning of the game. Sorry, Morganyon.
Garlemald is the home of the Reapers, is it not?
It is. Alphino and Alize were there when the trouble began, and have since sent word that the situation has taken a dreadful turn.
A short while earlier in Tertium. Born too early to mount to be, born too late for fan service.
Thus concludes the abridged account of our time in Tural. Now I shall leave you with the words of the late Dawn Servant, Galul Jajar. Ignorance begets strife. Understanding begets fellowship. A notion that rings true for Eorzeans no less than it does for the diverse peoples of Tuliolol.
And for Garleans as well. Even sharing something as simple as a local dish can pave avenues of understanding. It's up to all of us to forge
Paladin
new
best
paths
class? No.
together.
Thank you for sharing your tale. Better they hear it firsthand than endure my clumsy retelling. Your words give me hope that we might achieve something similar here in Garlemald.
We all have the capacity to affect change. Our time in Tural taught us that much. And now that we've returned, it's time we rolled up our sleeves and got back to work.
I've already sent missives to the other nations, informing them of our Alexandrian friends. I also intend to notify the Garlean community officially. If both sides are amenable to the proposition, we shall gladly assist in establishing diplomatic relations with Alexandria and Tuliolol.
Thank you. But are you sure you've recovered from your journey? It sounded like you've hardly had time to catch your breath.
Sir!
Lapis Manalis is overrun with void scent. We've sustained heavy civilian casualties.
What?
Clutium Squadron reporting in. We're under attack. Void scent appeared out of nowhere and ambushed us during a routine inspection. Damn it. Is that another fisher? No, no, no! Ah!
Uh-oh.
My comrades are under attack. We have to do something.
Alright, Dinky. Rest well.
No time to lose.
Have a good night.
The Garlean community is ill-equipped to defend themselves against such a threat. Even with the aid of the twins and the Ilzabard contingent, they face daunting odds.
We shall leave for Garlemald immediately.
Thank you. I was able to contact Thancred and Urianger too. They're already on their way. With any luck, you'll be able to rendezvous with them on arrival.
Hello, my hours changed. How's it going? Welcome in. Well, looks like we're off to Garlemald, and just like that we find ourselves faced with another emergency. Fortunately, there is yet time for us to make a difference. Let us make haste for Tertium. Alright, well, Garlemald is very far away, so I guess I'll teleport there.
You picked a frosty spot for a reunion. Tataru sent word that you were coming. Full glad am I to see you all. Though I'm afraid this is no time for pleasantries. Planar fissures have opened up across Garlemald, inundating the region with void scent. As far as we can ascertain, there are two focal points of their assault. The Ilzabard contingent are combating the threat in Lapis Manalis. Although they have suffered casualties, they appear to have the upper hand.
As well they should. The many talented Uldan thaumaturges among them should be more than capable of closing any fissures they encounter.
Which leaves the second focal point, the Clutium. Eulus and the Garlean community are attempting to mount a counterattack, but are struggling to cope with the sheer number of void scent. They've fallen back to the north of the Imperial Palace. Can you lend your aid in securing the area?
With your blessing, I would tend to the wounded returning from battle.
Of course, Kryl. Thank you.
Why does everyone in this game have white hair?
The quickest route from
They're
here
old
is
and
to
stressed?
start the train tracks. Once we arrive, we can support the Garlean forces as we make for the fissure in the munitions factory.
My character doesn't have white hair. Unk Fantasy. Look at that, we've unlocked the newest dungeon. I guess we'll go ahead and take care of that. And disband my current party. But first, let's talk to all the NPCs and see what they have to say. Now the question is, should I do it with people or should I do it with NPCs? White-haired characters are just cool, and Griffith was pretty cool. Oh, right. Orgignon, I'm sure you'll appreciate this. Look, it's chaos! Must kill chaos. It's pretty easy to beat. Alright. I guess I'll do it with NPCs, why not? Who should I bring with me? I guess I don't really have a choice.
Our fates are not yet sealed.
Sure, that works. Alright, new dungeon. Let's see what they have in store for us. I found the last dungeon to be a little lackluster. Hopefully this one's cooler. The music's pretty good. Love a good piano medley. It is a snow level. Alright, let's go.
I may?
This is just modern Chicago.
a sight for sore eyes.
Is the tortoise boss from FF15 in this game? Yes, it is. Several different variations of the boss, actually.
Appreciate the help. We'll handle things from here. Take care of the fisher.
They thought of everything? Alright, it looks like our first boss is a variation on the scorpion. It's called Eye of the Scorpion, because they gave it an eye. Get it? Looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh card? It does. Huh. It's a clever way to do that. boss seems pretty simple. The first boss? I mean, you can have first bosses that are pretty hard. They should have thrown Ifrit at you. Ifrit's a pushover. After this dungeon, I will show you why Ifrit is such a pushover. You take that back, that's my goat. Mood, are you still around? It is kind of funny thinking about how intimidating Ifrit is in other games compared to 14. I was gonna say that they announced the next Final Fantasy collab event. It is not a collab event with DBZ. Oh, like, seasonal events. You know, like Halloween, Christmas, that sort of thing. Because you remember how you were saying you were waiting for the FF16 collab to come back? Xenoverse 3 and FF14? I mean, you never know. Is the 16 collab coming back? Even better, we're getting the FF11 Rhapsody event coming back.
If I may?
I see Mood isn't a fan of Final Fantasy XI. Is that the one with the unkillable boss? Ah, Morgan, you haven't seen the new Final Fantasy XI raid. Oh, look at this guy. His name is Chort. It's kind of cute. Alright, Chort, show me what you're made of. Ripples of Gloom. This guy is just Kuahan from the Diablo ornament. That's pretty funny. Never played 11, that's the other MMO? Yes, it is. This guy is cool thing from... He's got it's the same exact moveset. See, that's the thing about Final Fantasy XIV. Once you recognize enemy types, you'll recognize that those enemy types have similar moves to other enemies and bosses of the same style. Reused assets in MMO. I mean, they don't look the same, but they have the same body type. Which is why I can identify that he's the same enemy type. And that move where he's bouncing around on his stomach, that same attack is used in another boss fight that's similar to this guy. Oh, that's that. Alright. Why is he bouncing like that though? Because he enjoys bouncing. Let the boy bounce. That's what he wants to do. Oh, these enemy designs are pretty cool. Bro is not Kirby. He is not. He's more like Sonic the Hedgehog with the way he was spinning around, yeah? Doing literal spin dashes across the arena. Could Sonic beat Bahamut? Probably.
If I may.
Let the Sonic expert step in. I'm gonna say yes, but only as Supersonic. Excuse me, that would imply that you're also an expert in Final Fantasy. So, I do not accept your statement. You don't need to be an expert in FF to know about Bahamut stuff. I played 16. But we're not talking about 16 Bahamut. And who says 16 Bahamut is like the strongest Bahamut? Should we not take the strongest version of Sonic versus the strongest version of Bahamut and pit them against each other? Would that not be the most logical way to determine who is stronger? Or if Sonic could beat Bahamut? By pitting Sonic's strongest form versus Bahamut's strongest form? True, I guess 14 Bahamut would be strongest then. I never said that 14 Bahamut was the strongest. That's true, when I show a picture of Bahamut, my entire family knows who he is, so Mood's kinda got a point. Guarantee you, if I showed 20 random people at work a picture of Bahamut, I would say about half of them wouldn't know what it was. They would just be like, is that a dragon? Lucky for you, you didn't have to. I have the power of Google. Did you just Google who would win in a fight between Sonic and Bahamut? Alright, we got the boss. His name is Malphus. No, I googled which FF Bahamut is considered the strongest. Which FF Bahamut is considered the strongest?
Welcome to my domain, mortals. Take bomb and stab. Carry out my will.
Huh.
Now for something different.
Boss is pretty mediocre so far. Man, I remember when we had to fight like the 4 fiends. That was like fun. This is just kinda... eh? And how strong is the Tank Buster? Well, that's pretty strong, actually.
Oh, radiant starlight, become my blade!
Oh, they're moving. That's kind of cool. but the rate of rotation is the same regardless, so. Based on canon lore and destructive capability, Final Fantasy XIV's Elder Primal Bahamut is widely considered the strongest. He destroyed the world, altered the climate, and forced a complete relaunch of the game, far exceeding the scale of other iterations. I wasn't paying attention to the... Ah, it's almost over anyway. Uh-oh. Well, that was simple. I don't think forcing a relaunch of a game should count as a canonical event, because that's not canonically what happened. Phoenix destroyed Bahamut in FF14. Oh, that's kind of cute. Ah, see? Didn't know that, did you? That's funny. What's funny? That Phoenix destroyed Bahamut?
I think that's all of them.
We need but seal the fissure to prevent further ingress.
Who here plays Ingress? That's a question.
It's over.
Is it over though? Is it over?
I can only imagine the extent of the damage were it not for your aid. On behalf of the Garlean community, I thank you for all you've done for my people, for my home.
He's still alive. And we're just having this conversation?
I shall close the fissure post-haste.
He's still alive. Maybe deal with the boss?
You risked your life in vanquishing the creature. Would you at least let me bear the burden of deciding its fate?
Second phase? No, there is no second phase. If there was a second phase, it'd be in the dungeon itself. Kinda like the Four Fiends fights! This guy's dumb. He's gonna get possessed.
You want to go back to the void? Your Your kind have entered this realm before, some seeking death that they might rejoin the life stream. But you would choose that dark, deathless place?
The wind is fresh and pure, untouched by darkness. Perhaps it won't be a blessing to meet my end in such a place.
I mean, as far as dungeon bosses go, they're pretty cool. Like, there's actually a long stream of mechanics before you start to see repeats versus dungeon design being pretty simple. Like, Dawntrail's dungeon design in the beginning was very good. The dungeons were actually challenging, but they seem to have dumbed it down a lot recently.
All too well. If that is your wish, you must forsake this aggression. Go back to the void and devote yourself to its restoration. I have a friend, Zero, who hails from your home. She and her companions strive to bring light into the void from another world blighted with imbalance. I hear their efforts have already met with some success. One day, they'll drive the darkness from the void, I'm sure of it.
His form is imbued with the will of all those I have consumed. We shall return to our world and seek out this Zero. Then we shall see if there is truth in your words.
She won't disappoint you. That much I guarantee.
They do have bosses that do that. Oh, look at that. Euless made a friend. They just let him go.
Bravo! I think Zero will approve.
Well, you know, this game is all about the power of friendship.
Indeed, that was truly heartening to see.
Understanding begets fellowship, right? I thought I might lead by example.
Well then, shall we head back?
Reports have been trickling in. By all accounts, the Ilsabard contingent was successful in containing the threat on their front. For Void sent to attack in such numbers just as we were finding our feet, I daren't imagine the consequences had you not provided such timely aid. On behalf of my comrades, thank you. Thank you all. Alright, that's right. I was gonna show Morgan Yan why Ifrit is a pushover. Alright, here's Ifrit. There is Ifrit in all his glory. And there goes Ifrit in all his glory. Don't play on baby easy mode. Okay. That's fine. We can do it on extreme. Alright, here's Ifrit on extreme difficulty. Look, he died even faster. He wasn't ready. Sure. Sure. Did you know your whole screen is flipped to the side here on YouTube? Says Alexander. Oh, but that was a bit ago. I don't know if he's still watching. Darn. Keep missing that chat. Okay. Oh well, maybe if they're still around, I can talk to them.
The Ilzabard contingent have contained the threat on their front. Things appear to be under control, for the time being. Though it remains unclear why the fissures opened up in the first place. According to Tataru, similar ruptures are occurring across the star.
One thing is clear, however. The phenomenon is not without pattern. The tendency for fissures to emerge is pronounced in regions deeply connected to the void. Places where the barrier between the two worlds is at its thinnest.
I fear there may be a place in far greater peril than Garlemald.
Looks like we're going to the moon, fellas.
You will recall there is a great void gate that we ourselves had cause to open. A gate which was instrumental in our bid to reunite Vritra with his sister and put an end to Golbez's dark plot.
Oh gods. The moon.
With our attention fixed upon planar fissures, I failed to consider this.
There's no Uber on the moon?
All other paths unto the void are but pinpricks in the veil compared to that great lunar rift.
And that rift might be yawning open as we speak. We'd better hurry.
Let us make for Bestway's burrow. I dare say the Loperites are well aware of current events.
We ought to have Kryl join us once she finishes tending to the wounded. I shall likewise contact Y'shtola. Her knowledge of the moon's void gate.
A number of my fellow Garleans now call Mare Lamentorum home. Alphino, Alize, please see they come to no harm.
Wait, why are there Garleans on the moon?
Before you know it.
A quick word, if you will. I'm not sure whether you'll run into Zero during the course of all this, but if you do, would you give this to her?
Bagged lunch.
Emergency rations, in case of a protracted battle. Can't imagine she's eating all that well in the void. She likes dumplings.
Does he have a crush? Here we are on the moon.
We're doomed! Doomed, I say!
Given thy panicked state, I presume the Loporits too are beset with void scent.
Oh, what sweet relief it is to see you all! Yes, void scent, and lots of them! They suddenly came pouring forth from the crater!
I had dearly hoped to find my worries unfounded.
For some unknown reason, the void gate seems to have partially opened. Living Ray dashed off to activate the brands and halt the Fiend's invasion, but she hasn't come back, and we've since lost contact.
I suggest we make for the brands without delay.
Oh, here comes the real boss fight. And here we are on the moon.
I'm saved! I dread to think what would have befallen me if you hadn't intervened! Oh, I was never in any real danger, of course. I knew you would realize our plight and rush to our rescue. Atheris is likewise plagued with void scent. If only we'd prioritized further development of the void scent slaughter bots, we could have stemmed the tide ourselves. Oh, what a tremendous demonstration that would have been! Irrefutable proof that I was mankind's staunchest ally and the greatest Loporit to ever live! I can practically taste the praise. Fortunately, I was able to activate the brands. Should any more void scent emerge from the gate, they ought to be confined to the crater. Unless, of course, the void gate begins to expand of its own accord, or some gargantuan monstrosity tries to barge through. I don't foresee any major problems.
She had to jinx it.
There you are.
I left the data in Shale's capable hands and teleported here as soon as I heard. And ere you ask, I made sure to bring the key with me.
Then the real threat yet awaits us.
'Tis Golbez's domain beyond the Void Gate. I wonder how he and Zero are faring. By the 12.
Ah, good old Zero.
What are you doing here?
Only you could be so carefree amidst all this. may as well make yourself useful. The gate's sheer size appears to have made it a tempting target.
Enuo, a dread void scent risen from the benighted depths of the ocean. They kept to the confines of their domain while Zeromus endured. No longer, it would seem. And once they had discovered a path to the Red Moon, they wasted no time in making the journey.
Leave the void scent nearby to us. You take care of Enuo.
Of course. Just leave it to your resident Godslayer.
Calls for a more familiar approach. Voidsent can change their form at will. Both light and darkness are mine to wield. Besides, what better to purge darkness from the void than darkness itself?
Dares face me, a mere mortal. Hast thou come in search of power, renown? I fight to end.
Oh my god, this soundtrack.
Without end. All who stand before me shall fall.
Alright, before we tackle this, I'm going to be right back. we're back. But I saw that there was a party for Valagarmonda, so I joined that. But you know, we can enjoy this song right here. Look, we already have 5 people in this Valagarmonda party. Hello, Abysmal. How's it going? You need to educate me on how to pronounce your name? Velynara. Or you can just call me Veli. Feel a little tired, so I'm gonna get a little more sleep before work. How dare you not get the appropriate amount of sleep before coming to this stream, Mood Downer? This is what happens when you just play video games all the time. You know what I gotta say? You know what I gotta say? I thought you were gonna help me farm these things. Bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. I wasn't sure if it was Veli or maybe Velina with a Ra at the end. Oh, well, Veli is fine. Most people call me Veli. At some point. Waiting for 3 more people. It's an endless void underneath him. Oh, look at that, we got a tank. So we just need one DPS and one healer. Bum 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 bum. Just need one healer. Hey, look at that. Already filled. Alright, we're gonna do Valigarmonda EX. Oh boy. How fun. With an understanding that you've played FF, may I ask which final is your favorite? 14, I guess, since I've played it the most. For me, 7, 8, 10, 12, 15, and Remake 7. No 6? That's interesting. I've never played anything before 7. You know, a lot of people consider 6 to be, like, the best Final Fantasy of all time. What's with all these markers? Don't need to be this complicated for Valid Armanda. I've never played 14 because I know if I ever tried an MMORPG, I'd never see the light of day again. Oh. They just recently expanded Final Fantasy XIV's free trial to include the 3rd expansion for free. So, you know, costs nothing. I guess we're starting. Oh, I guess we're just... Bum bum ba-dum ba-dum bum 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 bum. Final Fantasy XIV, ESO, EverQuest, World of Warcraft. No, I probably would quit my job, live in solitude, and only play the game. I wish I could do that. Here we go. We're starting. such a fun way to do a tank swap. Well, that's one fight. Registration is withdrawn. Well, that's kind of lame. Is this person gonna relist the party? It doesn't seem like this person is relisting the party. Oh, good. They did relist. Oh, well. Oh, look at that. We got a healer. Now we just need a no, we need a tank. We need a tank. Just waiting for a party. Hey, we got a tank. where did the host go? That is a good question. Well, we had a party, but the host is AFK, so they left. Ah, the joys of Party Finder. Alright, well, it doesn't seem like this party is going anywhere, so I'm just gonna try to queue for NUO for now. Let's see where that gets us. Hiya. This is the reason why sometimes Final Fantasy XIV is not so exciting. There are people who might be queuing for this, so that's good. Well, people are joining, so that's good. We just need one more healer and we can queue in. You know what really sucks? I have to go back to work tomorrow. Hey, we got a pop. That does suck. Yes, it does. But here we go. I guess we're starting off.
Dare oppose me shall quake before the silken dark.
Huh.
The void's power is mine to wield. Perish. Be still.
That's a pretty fast AoE.
the yawning rift not tempt you?
Halfway point.
Naught will endure. Neither past nor future.
Alright, Abysmal. Thanks for stopping by. Uh-oh. This arena is trippy. Hey, Kendrick, how's it going? I'm doing alright. Just tackling the newest boss in Final Fantasy XIV.
The underlings are no more. Now to deal with Enor.
Life and death rendered meaningless.
That's good. That's good.
Light, protect us.
I will not yield my domain. Such is the power of the void.
Uh-oh.
The void shall never cease to be. My power is absolute. The void's power is mine to wield. Thus did all boundaries cease to be. Behold the truth of this world! Accept your downfall. Doth the yawning rift not tempt you? Be still. eventually cease to be.
That wasn't so bad.
They must be sealed away. I'm glad you came. We would have struggled to face Enuo alone. I presume you journeyed here to prevent more void scent from passing through the gate.
With Enuo defeated, there are none left in this realm who pose a serious threat. I dare say the problem is resolved.
Cause for alarm indeed. Tell us more. So the breach wasn't limited to the Void Gate. For better or worse, precious little has changed in the 13th since the Romus fell. Have you noticed anything unusual?
I know not the reason events have unfolded this way, but there is, perhaps, an explanation as to why the Void Gate and the fissures opened. Here, in my domain, even the slightest change is keenly felt. When the gate opened, I sensed not the workings of some external force. Rather, it felt as if the barrier between our worlds was weakening naturally, moment by moment, until the two came to meet.
And you think this weakening could be happening elsewhere?
'Tis a possibility.
What of Razatan and Garlemald? Eulus took mercy upon the interloper. Whether Void Scent or Garlean, we all share the same longing for home. Should we meet, I will gladly offer them aid. Please tell Eulus as much. Wait, how exactly did you get here? No mortal could traverse the Void Gate in its current state.
My little portal.
path of yours is still there. I cannot see it.
Nor does it reveal itself to me. Perhaps the path serves only the key bearer.
Kingdom Hearts crossover incoming?
So it is not a means to travel freely back and forth. A pity. I would have liked to see my friends again.
Until our battle earlier, I hadn't called upon darkness in some time. In truth, I find light a better fit these days. Ever since you left, we've been roaming the void in search of individuals who would join our cause. Although we return to the Red Moon after sensing Annuo's presence, rarely do we linger in a single location. However, if the interloper you spoke of does intend to seek me out, it might be wise to return to my domain. Why don't you join us? With Annuo defeated, the Source should be in no imminent danger. Good, we'll wait for you by the crater. Wasn't I clearly walking with them? Can I talk to these guys? Oh, and I can mount here. That's nice. How many of these NPCs are talkable to? This place has nice music. Though it was not always so, many who live here now have chosen to do so because they support the cause. Indeed, if our numbers continue to grow, we may require more territory. Thankfully, we were able to harness the residual ether from Barbaricia's domain. Those reserves will enable me to expand mine as the need arises. Right, we had best prepare for our potential guest. Join me in my abode when you're ready. More people to talk to. I guess that's why we have the mounts.
Upon activation, these transmitters will shine with light from beyond, sent courtesy of our ever-watchful friends. They will serve as beacons in the dark for those that would seek me out. I am Zero, and this is my domain. 'Tis a safe haven for those who abhor conflict. Among those gathered here, many aspire to restore this world to how it once was.
Such a thing is possible?
Indeed. Though how long the endeavor will take, I cannot say. But for those of us abandoned by death itself, what do we have but time to try, and try again?
Very well. This light is ample proof your comrades spoke true. However long it takes to restore our world, you shall have my aid.
And you shall have mine.
It would seem Eulis's intervention has helped forge a new bond. Thank you for bringing word to me. I gather you'll head home sooner rather than later. Well, I don't really have anything else to do here. Then let us return to the Red Moon. I'm sure you won't begrudge me a proper farewell.
Would you deliver a message to Euless for me? Tell him that we're making progress towards rebuilding our home. And I hope that he is too.
Enuo's Memoria will be safe here. The crystal containing Zeromus has been passed on to our allies in the First. If Enuo's Memoria might serve them in restoring their world, we shall likewise consider its transfer.
How much simpler it would be to aid one another in our respective fights, were it not for these boundaries between us. Safe travels, my friend. We take comfort in the knowledge that you're out there fighting too, wherever you may be.
No luck, I'm afraid. It appears she's not in Mare Lamentorum.
Wait. Is that...
God, you had us worried. You suddenly disappeared. We didn't know what to think.
Shortly after you vanished, the Void-Sent incursion abruptly ended. We surmised you had a hand in that, but never did it cross our minds that you were fighting alongside Zero and Golbez.
This golden path you said you traversed wasn't visible to us either. Nor did we hear a voice. Ethos. Might this be the key's true name?
While many mysteries remain, for now, I am glad to learn the state of affairs in the 13th. Golbez's suspicion that the barrier twixt worlds has begun to weaken. 'Twould certainly explain the surge in fissures manifesting in the source.
Yet what could be behind such a phenomenon?
And who might you be? Not a Void-Sent, I'd wager.
Greetings. I am Helmarut of the Asians. We are your sworn foes, I know. But on this occasion, will you not put away your arms?
wish only to talk. Thank you for affording me a chance. Bereft of the Unsundered, we were under the impression you and yours no longer had cause to continue your activities. That you should reveal yourself at this juncture. I assume you are the one who bestowed Calyx with the knowledge of summoning and the reflections. Yes, that is correct.
Good old Calyx.
Was it necessary to reveal my present form?
Calyx. So he succeeded in transferring his memories after all.
Be at ease. Even were I to occupy a combat-oriented vessel, I would not have the ability to defeat you. You destroyed my plan, my life's work. I have naught to replace it, nor will I ever regain what I once had.
If you wish to speak, Halmarut, will you not tell us what it is that you hope to accomplish?
As you know, our star Aetheris was sundered into 4 and 10 shards in the time of the Ancients.
History lesson.
As the will of the star, Hydaelyn perpetuated this unnatural division for millennia. And in the wake of her passing, nature has begun to reassert itself. As a wound knits itself together, the star seeks to become whole once more. Yes, it seeks to rejoin with all of its shards. Unlike the one we Ascians attempted to orchestrate, however, the star's rejoining will afford mankind no special treatment. All life and matter will be condensed into a single whole, and remade for a new beginning. A complete rebirth. Aetheris will return to the way it once was. Hundreds of millions of years past. To a quiet and peaceful time. Long before the light of mankind was kindled.
Supposing for a moment we believe you, how can you possibly know all this?
It is an inevitability that I have foreseen since time immemorial. A future that awaits should creation be freed from the influence of Hydaelyn and Zodiark. The star is tolerant to life. It holds no grudges, and neither rages nor weeps for being sundered. Yet by the same token, it is indifferent to life's survival. No amount of devastation and death can compel it to stop the wheels of creation from turning. The earth shakes, and mountains spew fire. Floods wash away the fruits of labor, and icy winds freeze and starve. Countless perish as nature runs its course. So many seeds of life have already been lost. Yet in spite of this, people continue to believe that the morrow will come. But it will not. For nothing lies beyond the solstice, when all creation is reunited. When that day comes, every last trace of mankind shall be erased. I cherish man's journey. Despite losing his innocence and being made to live with suffering, he has forged ever onward. Strong, even as he is weak, his is a proud tale in the history of the star. It would be a shame for that tale to end, for all to wither and die, when some might yet survive. Would you not agree?
If a natural rejoining doth lead unto the solstice, then thine intent is to preemptively rejoin the worlds.
Correct. It was for this very purpose that Halmarut recruited suitable collaborators from the Reflections. Individuals like me, who would willingly doom another world in order to fulfill their aspirations. The Winterers, we are called. And if you and yours seek to protect all life, then sooner or later you shall have to contend with us.
Even if everything you claim is true? What you've done, Calyx, it's unforgivable!
I do not ask that you be pragmatic, nor do I seek your approval. Given your familiarity with other reflections, 'tis only natural that you are averse to our methods. But there is one irrefutable fact that you must understand. Should we take no action at all, the solstice will come, and no one will be left alive. No one. Of course, should it serve to satisfy your ambition, you are welcome to deal with the reflections as you deem fit. Like the pariah and wanderer who satisfied his own when he brought the star to the brink of ruin to face you.
Wait!
The Rising Stone. Haven't been in here for a while.
Long it hath been since last we gathered here. Though our order's dissolution was indeed in name only, thereafter we did largely operate independent of one another. All of which is to say, full glad am I to stand in such esteemed company once more.
Apologies for our delay.
Ori Boulder.
We're reporting for duty, as bid.
This is everyone that we could round up on short notice. The others are still en route. Estinian alone we weren't able to make contact with, but we're working on it.
No doubt his link pearl is buried at the bottom of his bag. Knowing him, he'll turn up when we least expect it.
Now, as much as I'd like to savor our reunion, Tataru tells us there have been developments. Will you apprise us of the details?
There's no fade to black. I guess there is this time.
The Winterers and the Solstice.
The veracity of Halmarut's claims remains unclear. Yet it cannot be denied that, in his bid to convert the living into endless, Calyx was privy to knowledge of the reflections and more.
And the Winterers are formed of others, like him.
In light of the recent Voidsent incursions, I believe it would be wise to treat the Solstice as a genuine threat. The problem is how to deal with it.
Both the Source and the Reflections are home to irreplaceable life. I would protect them all if I could. But if doing so means ushering in complete annihilation, Then what can we possibly do?
I wonder, was Hydaelyn aware of the solstice?
Given that we had no knowledge of it when you journeyed to Elpis, you couldn't have warned Velynara. So it is entirely possible she was unaware. But in the course of sustaining the Sundered Star, she may have glimpsed this eventuality.
I think she knew and chose to trust in us.
So she believed that we could overcome this trial as well. Or rather, that the choice was ours to make.
Whichever it may be, it is we who must find the answer. We who live in the here and now.
Perhaps we could take a recess? Oh, I dare say everyone could use a rest.
Indeed. We have ample food for thought, and it would be good to catch each other up.
Ere I forget, Heron, I believe you should keep the key, Ethos, in your possession. After all, it seems that is one mystery I am not destined to unravel.
final cutscenes.
Of course, should it serve to satisfy your ambition, you are welcome to deal with the reflections as you deem fit. Like the pariah and wanderer who satisfied his own when he brought the star to the brink of ruin to face you.
I detest evenings such as this. Too bright, too stimulating. The mind distracted by the inconsequential. You needn't be so wary. I merely come to offer information before my departure.
Ow.
Almarut and I will soon cross
Thank
the
you.
rift to observe the
Hello,
enactment
Max.
of another Winter's plan. Our destination is the fourth. A world locked in ice, whose lands are blanketed in thick clouds. In order to survive, man has fled to the skies, using great magics to establish new civilizations.
I'm alright. 7.5 is going. It's a nice setup. Why tell me where you're going?
Own designs I would see realized. Nothing more. Believe me or don't, as you like. For all I know, you lack the means to follow us anyway. What Halmarut said to you earlier. She suggested that dealing with the reflections might satisfy your ambition. But is that truly so?
How have you been, Max? Have you done all this already?
Seen battles beyond counting. Have defeated even the fear of death. Is there some conclusion that you seek, no matter the cost?
Finished it Thursday.
I will share with you a truth.
That's cool. How did you like it?
We Winterers each have an ambition that we wish to fulfill. To that end, we may share information with one another, but we do not necessarily share the same beliefs. Just as you and yours decried my actions, I find those of my fellows objectionable. Be that as it may, it is the culmination of our lives' works that we would bring to the world. Fruits born of undying devotion.
Juno was pretty fun.
Aspiration and unwavering ideals. No matter how we are reviled, no matter what we must steal, our actions will be vindicated by those who abide in the future we create. In your benevolence, you may seek to save everything and everyone. But once all is consequently consigned to oblivion, Your noble deeds will amount to nothing more than folly. For no living soul shall remain to judge them.
Oh, that's the end of 7.5. See what all these people have to say. I guess that's that. Alright, well... guess I'll join this party and we'll see where it takes us. Alright, let's end stream here. Find someone to raid out to. It's been a while since we've seen Comey. We're gonna raid Comey. Alright, thanks so much for hanging out, everyone. Tomorrow we'll probably go back to playing Vampire. I have to go to work tomorrow. Yay! That's so much fun. Anyway, you guys are all great. Amazing, even. And I will see you all later. Give lots of love to Comey. Thank you, thank you. Have a good night.